What is good, guys? We are back with some more Socrates Jones, Pro Philosopher. We're just gonna get right into it. Well, I must say, Socrates, I'm impressed. Huh? Hobbes holds significant clout here, and he said clout in the intelligible realm. His ideas influenced later prominent thinkers such as John Locke, Jean Jacques, I can't say Rouse. I can't say his name either. And John Rawls. Besting him, or even getting him to question the logic of his ideas, is a significant accomplishment. So does this mean Dad gets to come home now? No. The door's still closed. Indeed, your success here, while impressive, cannot be construed Jesus, as providing an answer. Like, literally, it's just visual novels I do terrible with reading. I guess somewhat a Pokemon, but they only mean that Socrates is ready to face even greater challenges. Great. Okay, then. Which arrogant know-it-all do I have to honor of facing next? Do I have to honor of facing? I believe that would be me. Wait, is that John Stuart Mill at your service? It is. What the hell happened to her eyes? It is who? John Stuart Mill, one of the most prominent utilitarian philosophers, Dad. Oh my God, I can't. He was a member of Parliament and an early feminist as well. I've mentioned him at least 4 times today. I'm sorry. Feminist? Shall we begin? I'm still sick. But it's never... You don't take a break. Even through snow, bro. I never take a break. I don't care if I'm working or not. Whatever. The point is, I'm still sick. In our society, good comes from the accomplishment of desirable end. However, happiness and freedom from suffering are the only things truly desirable as ends. Thus, actions are right and proportion as they tend to promote happiness. Wrong as they tend to produce unhappiness. As a result, one should choose every action in order to maximize overall happiness. And there you have it, gentlemen. Happiness must be the source of all good. This is the core idea behind utilitarianism. He's amazing. Isn't he amazing, Dad? No, he's not amazing. Like, stop. I guess. He's about 200 years older than you. Tone it down a notch. That's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell? Well, Socrates, you've heard John's presentation. What is your intended course of action? Well, I intend to clarification, backing, see if any of those are right. If they're not, challenge. Dad, look, this is the closest thing to the nature of morality we're going to get. How do you know that? I've studied him for ages. That's how. He's so brilliant. He's brilliant. Come on, Dad. If you just acknowledge that, you can get out of here. Well, Socrates, do you accept Mill's principles? Actually, I believe I'll ask the MP a few questions if you don't mind. What? By all means, go ahead. It is only healthy for individuals to voice their queries. Trapped thoughts. I'm not reading it. Our society, good comes from the accomplishment of some desire. What evidence do you have? In our society, the things we value have positive effects. For example, we value good parenting because it produces good members of society. Alright, he's spitting right now. I'm not even gonna lie. There are countless such examples. Unless you have some tangible counter argument, I think this idea stands on its own merits. I mean, not like to get on the kid, but like Blueface and Krishan's kid. Ooh, I feel bad for it because like You know, it didn't ask for those two parents. However, happiness and freedom from suffering. What do you mean by that? Out of all the things we can strive for, happiness is the only true end. Everything else only serves to support this end. Most things which mankind values, love, peace, property, are valued because they further some other end. If we follow such value chains in their conclusion, they all come to rest on happiness. For example, peace furthers security, which furthers luxury, which furthers happiness. See? Very well reasoned. That was well reasoned. Not gonna lie. What evidence? This seems pretty self-sufficient to me. This one doesn't really make sense. Clarification. If your actions make people happy, there must be something positive about them. Likewise, if your actions make people unhappy, there must be some negative quality to them. Simply put, an action is as right as the happiness it creates. But happiness for whom? For the self or for others? Yeah, there's kind of a flaw in this thing. The overall population distribution is irrelevant. Huh, interesting. In my opinion, it is the natural product of my previous observations. The most moral act is the one that most increases net happiness. If you need further clarification, I suggest you re-examine my previous statement. Okay, I'm probably gonna challenge. Good fella. I think it's that third one. No, it's not this one. Damn it. Alright, let's try the other one. Dang, not this one either? Yes, I would. Thank you, Ariane. How does he know your support is? How does he know her name? Alright, I'm probably about to die here. Never mind. John Stuart Mill, yes, Socrates. I understand the reasoning behind your philosophy, but applying your reasoning in all situations creates some worrisome implications. What, Dad? Are you serious? Mill's philosophy is perfect. You can't just go. Continue, Socrates. Yeah, thank you. Get her out the fucking picture. Gladly. The problem here is that happiness is not equivalently exchanged. It can be gained and lost in unequal measure. Since your philosophy does not care how happiness is distributed, though this leads to some unfortunate scenarios. Oh really? Do explain. Let's say, for example, that I'd gain twice as much happiness from punching Hobbes in the face as he'd lose from being punched. The guy was already pretty miserable after all. According to your philosophy, in this situation, punching Hobbes would be entirely moral as it would increase overall happiness. But as much as Hobbes was a jerk, I can't believe random violence would be the right course of action. Indeed, I think I prefer my debates not devolving into fistfights. But Dad, that's just one example. Well then, let me provide another, Ari. Let's say there was a monster that would gain far more happiness from eating you than you'd ever gain over the course of your life. Would the moral action then be fed to you? Or would the moral action then be to feed yourself to the monster? I don't know how I read that. Mill's philosophy would say yes, but that seems preposterous. Does it not? Dad, what are you doing? That situation would never arise. Bringing imaginary monsters into a debate is Is that really how you intend to get home?
Nonsense.
Actually, your father raises some good points. What? But Ariadne, he who knows only his own side of the case knows little of that. As thinkers, it is our job not only to challenge the thoughts of others, but to challenge ourselves. Judging every choice as it arises seems, upon reflection, difficult to defend. Are you serious? Please don't let my dad run all over you. Not to worry, Ariadne. The core of my philosophy still stands strong. Allow me a moment, gentlemen, to present an altered position. You're just picking at straws at this point. The problem you have described can be addressed through the application of universal rules. These rules should be chosen in order to create the most happiness possible with as little harm as possible. While the rules may not maximize overall happiness, they will at least guarantee net happiness never decreases. Actions can be considered moral when they follow such rules. As you can see, it is still possible for happiness to be the source of morality. I believe I shall refer to this approach as utilitarianism. I can't say that word for some reason. Utilitarianism. An interesting evolution of your ideas, indeed. You see, Dad, Mill's philosophy is solid, as I told you. Because, I actually studied this stuff. Whatever happened to me having to decide for myself? Yeah, well, that was before you hopped on the smug wagon. You just dig riding. That's crazy. The smug wagon? No, she just dig riding. Don't worry, bro. She just dig riding. Shall we continue? I guess so. Because these rules apply equally to everyone, the problem of distribution is irrelevant. Could that really be the case? Who cares, bro? These rules should be chosen in order to create the most happiness possible with as little harm as possible. What do you mean by rules? Are we talking about contracts? No. While Hobbes' theory in this one could result in some of the same guidelines, the rationale behind their existence would be different. There are certain rules which meet qualifications of... No, I'm not reading that. I can't say the word, bro. I gotta go look it up. What evidence do you have to support this statement? As happiness is still the only ultimate end, the only rules that make sense would be the ones that further that end. Thus, it makes sense the rules which govern our actions should be considered accordingly. I used that one, so I have to... Oh, I think it's that one. Let's see. Most of the time, the rules we follow should result in a net gain of happiness for society. While this may not always be the case, society is much better off if these rules are always applied than if they are never applied. Of course, old chap. Let us consider the rule that citizens are considered innocent until proven guilty. I will demonstrate this rule increases overall happiness in most situations. With this rule, any man knows he will get a fair trial and thus is protected from false accusations. True, sometimes guilty criminals get away as a result, but can you imagine a world where this rule were not applied? That's facts. That sounds terrible. Yes, it truly would be. Might make an interesting game, though. Okay. I think it's this one, actually, too. Based on everything I established here, following the rules will promote happiness most of the time. Thus, we can assume those who follow the rules are performing morally most of the time. So, when the rules create unhappiness, we should still follow them? Well, no. What busy ya? Gotta yawn every episode for some reason, no matter what I do. A rule created enough unhappiness that rules should be revamped. Broken and replaced with a more nuanced rule. Huh, how interesting. Nuance. Ha! The game's up, old chap. Oh no, Dad. Don't you dare throw this away. I dare. Ari, I know you idolize this man, but it's time to accept his ideas are not my way of here. My way out of here. For the philosophy he just proposed boils down to the same one as before. Now, hold on. I think that's a bit unfair. It is? It is. Is it? John Stuart Mill, you said rules should be created along lines which further happiness, correct? Of course. And when the rules fail to further happiness, they should be replaced with more nuanced rules. Yes, indeed. What is the problem? That's very different from his original idea. Is that so? Then answer me this. If you keep making the rules more and more nuanced, where will you wind up? Huh? You'll wind up with the idea we should act in order to maximize happiness. What? The fact is, no matter what rules... Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. I'm not going to read no more because I need to point this out while this stuff's going on. My daughter, okay? My daughter has switched sides because she's dick riding. And I'm sitting here like, what is... Look at her. She over here doing his point for him. Like she's the one I'm fighting. What is that? Is this not crazy to you? Like, you was on my team a second ago. Okay, back to reading. No matter how you spin it, I'm not reading that. Ultimately, boils down to act. Okay. Well, utilitarianism. Utilitarian. I can't say the word, bro. Our happiness is just waiting for a giant monster to come and gobble it up. Yeah, excuse that little rant I just had. I'm just like, that's crazy. Like, look, if she's still over there. No. How is she the one freaking out? Ari. You're the monster, Dad. The real monster. Don't you see what you're doing? This could have been your only hope of getting back. Our only hope of getting back. Ari, you are useless, Dad. Did you even stop to consider I wasted my life to give you this chance? Damn. I don't even know what to say. She left me speak. What? What did you just say? What did you mean just now? Nah. Okay. No. She got piped, bro. She did not waste her life. She got piped. I put my own life on the line so you could take the challenge. What? Are you serious? I thought if there was any chance, we should take it. But Mill is one of the best philosophers out there, and you've run right over him without a thought. You're going to wind up throwing away both our lives for the sake of your stupid style points. Ariadne Jones? I understand where you're coming from, but your father has not done ill by your sacrifice. Not since my days in Parliament have I been subjected to such a spirited critique. Mill, listen, both of you. Unquestionably, it is possible to do without happiness. It is done involuntarily by 19/20ths of mankind. Am I reading that right? Quintus? But you don't have to be among them. But you don't have to be among them. Ari, why did you discuss this with me? Why didn't you discuss this with me? Would you have taken the challenge if I had? Dad, I couldn't just let you die. If I had, the loss of happiness would have been too great. But the Arbiter told me the challenge was the only way to bring you back. And the reward could only match what was at stake. So I What were you thinking, Ari? You should have gone home. You'd have done the same thing if it were me. Yes, well, you're my daughter. I'm your dad. There's a difference in that. And you're my father, and believe it or not, I don't want to lose you. I did this because I honestly thought you deserved the chance, and I've been helping you however I could. Okay, yeah, but I agree with Socrates on this. You're my daughter. I'm the one that sacrifices, not you. But you're not even taking this seriously. How could you say that? You face philosophers with so many different ideas, so many different outlooks, and any one of them could have been onto something, but you've torn all of them apart without a thought. Your cunning remarks, your biting comments, you don't really care about getting home. You're just showing off. Didn't he say he's an accountant? Look, alright, is it true it's true, I've been getting a little carried away. I've never been good at this stuff, and you've always loved it. I guess I'm just starting to see why. But it doesn't matter, does it? In the end, you'll still blaze through the options presented to you, tearing them apart because you're so sure they are wrong. No, Ari, it's actually the opposite. I feel like I don't know anything, and I can't accept their ideas without understanding them inside and out. Especially now I know I'm not the only one at stake. I'm not here to prove them wrong. I'm here to see if they are right. I'm sorry. Huh? Mill was right. You've really been working hard. It's okay, Ari. I understand. Really? Yeah, your dad's a doofus sometimes. You shouldn't have done something like that. But I'll ground you for it when we make it home. And promise me you'll never take up gambling, okay? You're smart, but you don't have a knack for playing the odds. That's facts. That's why I don't gamble. I guess not. Except in games. I be gambling in games, and y'all know how that works out for me. Every time. Death. Death. Arbiter, I'm tired of this stupid world. Bring out your best philosopher. It's high time I provide returns on my daughter's bet. I provided returns on my daughter's bet, whatever. Okay, guys, chapter 5 is next. I'll see you guys in the next part.